to the Will-O-Wisp woods, where the wisps have stories to tell and the fire crackles. So, let's get to it, shall we? Tonight, instead of running a normal session like we usually do, we're going to be doing a recap, as we had said last week. This recap, we're going to cover everything that's happened from episode 1 up to last week's session, as a means of putting in some time between last session and the next time our wonderful Nyla will be back from their trip. So, I do have a schedule on that as well, thankfully, due to Nyla. Nyla has been kind enough to keep me updated with possibilities of when she's supposed to be coming back and when they are going to be flying back, whether or not it's in a very specific time frame or not. They're figuring out if they're whittling it down now to a very specific time frame, but they should be back shortly. Nonetheless, until they get back, the journey of Grandiasha. Grandiasha is a continent that I created for those that are just joining in, just joining the series, just finding out what's happening. Grandiasha is a continent upon the world that I created, or am currently creating technically, that is split in two, east and west. West Grandiasha is full of beings that are believing themselves higher than others. Those that normally would get look down on others, keeping them down in the mud, and the soldiers keeping the civilized people as beaten down as possible. In the east, they are trying to help. In the past, there was some influence from those that were pushed to the west, and it's still being healed, but East Grandiasha is a much more peaceful half of the continent. Grandiasha as a whole, however, is a continent well known for being a battlefield. Not only is it at war with itself now, with nearly 2 to 3 decades of a Cold War going on between West and East Grandiasha, it was also story-wise and in the fables of old, passed down from generation to generation to tell their kids bedtime stories. Many believe that East and West Grandiasha was a battlefield for the gods. Many fell, some did not. Two sides of the same coin, both fighting for different reasons. However, Grandiasha ended up in the middle of it, and that's why we have East and West Grandiasha, as Taumakia, the greatest god, at least in the eyes of his believers, split Grandiasha with a swing of his blade. Now, we began this story with 3 unlikely and very interesting people. One Maylene, Nyla, and Pixie. The 3 found themselves in a city, simply passing through, none the wiser of what would come about. But, as fate would have it, they would learn that they themselves would be thrust into a world that they were unknowing of. While in the city of Tem, they found themselves before a blacksmith's shop that was burning down. The fire crackled and roared. And after saving said blacksmith and keeping the people back, helping the guards, they themselves took the dwarf to a temple of Shea Trematis, the goddess of life. There they helped the dwarf get attention to his wounds. They got information from him, and they found themselves setting out to find his son, and finding out more information on a ring he had mentioned, made of obsidian. He was uncertain as to who it was or why he was making it, but he had a voice in his mind to tell him that he had to, and he felt the need to. His body no longer under his own control. So, being as curious as they are, the three found themselves traveling to find out more. Not only did they speak with a few more of the blacksmiths around town, they eventually found the son's cabin on the edge of what's technically connected to the forest of life. However, there was no sun. Now, with uncertainty, they searched a bit longer, only to find a trail that led them to the sun. The son finding himself being drowned by a strange creature, a demon of some kind, a goat-like creature with a long tail with spines at the end, a rotting smell coming from its body, and strange poison dripping from its barbs at the end of its tail. It was rather disgusting, but thankfully the group managed to pull through, and they cut down the strange creature, this demonic entity. So, after taking the son back to his home and getting a little rest themselves, they managed to get more information from the young man. They also happened to learn more about the area itself and what was going on. However, only rumor found its way to their ears. So, with only one solid lead before them, this strange ring. Come on. This strange ring, as well as information on how to make some money, chasing down a strange being that had been causing problems. They found themselves heading north to find what was known as a blood gem. This strange crystal, gem, gemstone, decorative piece was said to be connected to this strange ring that the dwarf was being forced to make. And along the way, they managed to stumble upon a rather interesting fellow. After losing one party member to the Merchants Guild, Pixie left a note stating that May and Nyla would have to go forward by themselves for a bit. But she was soon allowed peace of mind, not knowing that her new friends would be accompanied by a rather strange and stout, not necessarily young, but interesting dwarf nonetheless. A man covered in armor, with piercing spikes along his body, chasing a small squirrel. At the time, at least. They met Wendell, a very eccentric dwarf from Flammenbroth, the mountain of dwarfs. There we go. Anyway. Now, bringing along a dwarf who had no real knowledge of the overworld here on the material plane, the three continued north, making camp as they needed. Occasional passerbys. Come on, man! Why does that only happen when I'm streaming? Anyway, as I was saying, I need a standing desk or something. Anyway, they continued forward, meeting passerbys, making camp, gathering a pelt from a strange owl bear. And when they got to the City of Crows, they found themselves in the middle of a very interesting situation, as the city was shut down, not allowing entry or exit, and it seemed to have been like this for a few weeks now. Here, at the outside of the city limits, the three found themselves followed by a curious young mind. Very interesting being riding upon an even more interesting creature, or construct. A one fox turtle with a small being, wings tied behind her back. Odile and Rovan. They found their way behind the group after the group had questioned the guards a little bit with a little bit of magical help. And they made their way to the edge of the city, making their way around the wall to try and get up it, followed by Odile and Rovan. The group now found themselves face to face with a possible enemy? No, just a very interested and curious Odile. The group then found themselves with a common goal, trying to get into the city. They followed this goal by scaling the wall, nearly getting caught. However, with some quick thinking and a rather ballsy jump, our newfound dwarf, Dwindle, with his trusty pelt, managed to leap from the wall's top down into the city below, allowing his 3 new companions and friendly animal friend to safely get into the city without being caught. Now the dwarf was lost, and the group had lost their dwarf. After some searching, they found him within the city, smithing, as a dwarf would. And they came into contact with a rather interesting new tiefling compatriot. This tiefling, owner of the Tiefling's Horn, was a very flashy being. However, the group found comfort in the Tiefling's Inn, found comfort in the food that the Tiefling also offered. The Tiefling had information for them, and spending a few days here, and within, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days, the group had also managed to deal with the creature problem that the city was having, as the reason the city was locked down for so long was due to what many believed to be one large furred creature causing mayhem throughout the city. With little to go on, but their newfound need for gold weighing heavily on their mind, they decided to take on the job of helping the guard to find the reason for this strange happening at night. They then hunted down and tracked a group of creatures that led them to a warehouse. Werewolves. With some quick thinking and a hard-fought battle, with some arrows from above from Nyla, as well as some spells from both Nyla, May, Odile, and some crafting by Odile's hands. Not only did the group survive, but they won the fight, and learned that these creatures, though large wolves at first, were in fact people. Now, they find themselves moving north with more information as well as a possible supporter. They make their way north to Crestia, a very cold northern city, where in between the travel of crows and Crestia, they also met the local wildlife this far north, as a large white wolf and their packmates happened to meet them at Crestia's doors. And
Hey, Will. I'm so sorry to interrupt. The tiefling's horn is in Crestia. We met the librarian tiefling in Crows.
Yes, the one that you enjoyed the description of.
Yeah, he pretty.
Yep.
Okay.
My apologies.
Anyways,
They're both
sorry.
very, very extravagant. I like making my tieflings extravagant, especially when they're just little shop owners. But
It makes sense.
thank you. It's been a while since we were at that episode. So, my bad. They had met their lovely tiefling friend in Crestia. as well as one of the noble family. Many in Crows and that the group had talked to said that the only people that could afford a blood gem at all, and the only people that anyone had heard of actually having one possibly, were either the Queen of Frant herself or one of the families of nobility that have taken residence in Crestia. So, making their way north to Crestia, they quickly found that there were only 4 families within Crestia. One of which with a rather undesirable reputation. The rest having mixed feelings, as most nobility do. But, nonetheless, the group continued their search, learning more and more about the area as well as the people, finding out things that they can do around the city, as well as possible jobs, and even helping out some of the locals. Making friends here in Crestia, as they so gallantly find themselves doing lately. They also found themselves making friends with the not so enjoyable reputation as the family found the group. After trying to pick up some pack animals, or animals in general, looking around the market districts and finding any information they can, the group found themselves within a animal shop. They found beautiful animals of all kinds, from simple snakes and turtles to a few horses and goats, fish, a shark in one of the tanks. Rather interesting creatures all around, but nonetheless, one of the group had also found themselves in a bit of a pickle and in a puddle of their own creation. Nonetheless, Aileen had found herself meeting this noble family. A young man with short black hair and rather piercing eyes. And at the time, a threat for stumbling into his business and causing a ruckus, as well as seemingly a rather strange attitude, considering it seemed like he was well off, yet he seemed as though he was trying to deal with money issues he was having. So, the Tarkins family had May look into something for them. And with Nyla's help, May found herself getting deeper and deeper into something that the group, in all honesty, probably wasn't ready for. Odile and Dwindle, however, unknowing of their companion's crisis at the time, were enjoying the local area, finding things to do and occupy themselves. Odile working on a few projects and helping out one of the locals that she found interesting, as well as meeting a few of the local smiths. And Dwindle, simply learning more about his pack animal, smithing, working on a few projects himself. The group found themselves basically split in two, doing their own things, one none the wiser for the other, blissful ignorance both ways. Well, one side less blissful than the other, but nonetheless. The group found themselves in their own little worlds for a short time. May and Nyla, using their skills in investigation and talking, and May's very good ability to kick down doors, they found themselves searching around the city and breaking into a warehouse, where they were then met with a very interesting creature. Tracking down more information about the manager of the shop, the animal shop that they had visited, that the Tarkin's family heir had asked May to look into, she found herself at the hands of a creature, a bear with strange turquoise fur on the underbelly and a hard shell along their back like a pangolin. This large creature with 2 yellow streaks of fur from the top of its back along its sides where the shell meets the back, chased both May and Nyla deep into this warehouse, into a secret tunnel that it had come from, against an iron fence, or an iron gate, that Nyla and May quickly tried to unlock with the creature hot on their tail, narrowly escaping before locking it back behind them. They followed the path, finding themselves following hallways through a strange underground animal pen of some kind. Strange cages holding a variety of different large animals, each of them looking more violent than the last. They stumbled into an office where they got more information on this strange manager that they were seemingly having to pursue, or May's life was on the line. And finding out more, they found that there was an underground animal ring going on, and that the manager was using money made from the animal shop under the Tarkin's ownership to bet and make money off of animals that he had collected himself. After fighting off a small group of what were likely security, they decided to take a break, trying to regain some strength after everything that they had been through, only to find themselves waking up in a different part of this underground area, as they were being then lifted into this battle cage, this battle ring, this battle arena, where the manager that May had the horrid chance to meet then stood above them, looking down, watching, as another creature was also let into this battle arena. A creature with an owl's face and an elongated neck, antlers that sprouted from its head, and 2 long arms that unfurled to show wings underneath, and long feathers, with an elongated body with legs that come down to what look like, almost like owl legs and talons. It had a collar around its neck with strange runes that went around. And the fight began. However, at the end of it, Nyla had learned of her little friend, Skia, a shadow being that had shown itself recently here and there, giving the others of the group a bit of a startle now and then. Learning that Skia was a bit more than she had anticipated, as Skia then turned into a ring after swallowing this creature to protect May and Nyla. With that, Nyla now had a new decoration that she then promptly placed in her pocket, as May and Nyla then tried to chase after this old manager man to try and catch him, to find out more, to apprehend him so that they could take him to the Tarkins. Whatever they had planned for him was for naught, as he made his way out of an exit that he had known of as they tried to get out of the arena and had escaped into the city of Grandiasha, his current destination now unknown. Nonetheless, however, the two find themselves now in better terms with the Tarkins, and the Tarkins hopefully on better terms with the group, as the group now, after a few simple tasks throughout the city to find out more, meet new people, they found themselves meeting with explorers, the explorers, a space and occupation outside the city to the north, towards the frozen wastelands, that gifted those with a adventurous spirit the chance at quite a bit of money and items. And with their help, they had also helped with the city's living tree problems to the east. Nonetheless, however, after meeting the explorers and meeting the small groups that are employed by the city of Crestia and the kingdom of Frant to go explore the frozen wastelands to the north, the explorers then offered the group work if they wished it, meeting quite a few people, and quite a few of these adventurers having quite a bit of a quirky personality, to say the least. Some talking non-stop of weaponry once started. Others, silent suits of armor, standing 7 feet tall. Others, bipedal alligators. And some simple elf folk. Dwarves, humans, and a lone white dragonborn. The space was rather interesting, nonetheless. And, with more information, the group was able to safely and willingly put together an idea of what they wanted to do here. After finishing up some things in Crestia and getting a bit more information from their newfound frenemy, the Tarkin, they made out to the frozen wastes to the north to find out more information, as well as gather some items and seek some rather interesting items. They simply had to make it to the ruins to the north. Nonetheless, however, the group safely, most part, save for a rather large insect getting in the way, made it farther north. Now, during their travels, they were impacted by a rather strange phenomenon, as the space around all of them froze, and they were guided to a strange campfire that at one point seemed far, yet it moved and appeared to get closer and closer as the smoke billowed. They then found themselves face to face with a very large Leonin, covered in scars and battle armor, with one eye missing and a rather nasty scowl resting upon their face, as well as a young girl, red-headed, with freckles that danced along her cheeks and across the bridge of her nose. Missing one of her front teeth and a large smile across her face, she seemed rather excited to see the group, saying that the seer wished to see new people once again. With no idea what they were getting into, the group had no other choice than to meet this seer. A strange woman with pure white or pale skin and piercing magma orange eyes with long flowing white hair. In this strange caravan wagon that on the outside seemed rather quaint and small, but in the inside was larger and full of baubles and strange oddities. They were then asked if they wished to pull a card out of a deck that she had magically had appear in her hands, each of them getting a strange reading of a fate to befall them. Or that's what she spoke of, at least. Fates, magic, what the strings have in store. Whatever this strange woman spoke of seemingly sounded crazy at the time. But after their readings and after their interactions with this strange woman, she simply stated that she was hopeful to get some entertainment out of their rather glorious travel and adventure. And with that, they were back on the path again, as if they had never left it. The caravan was no longer in sight. It had seemingly disappeared entirely, as if it was never there. But with that strange passing interaction and meeting, the group found themselves continuing on their path, finally reaching the ruins that they had so longingly searched for over the last 2 weeks of travel. What is it?
1 week.
No, it was 2. Mm-hmm. It was about a week. It was about a week before you interacted with the Remoras. About a week and a half. Nonetheless, the group finally made it to this ruined kingdom. 3 spires poking out of the deep snow and ice below, with seemingly no castle attached. But the windows, slightly open, allowed the group a way of entry so that they could scout out ahead. After finding a way in and safely entering deeper into this castle, they found that underneath all of the snow and ice, there indeed was a castle resting, just waiting to be found. And with it, dangers to come, as the ruined furniture and rugs that draped the walls and the hallways and the rooms, as well as the broken down doors and the rotted wood. The group found themselves in a throne room, overlooking what looked to be a battle, almost, as skeletons dotted the floor, with rusted armor and weaponry nearby, some looking as if they had no armor or weaponry at all, as they had what was likely normal clothing at one time, though tattered and moth-ridden. They found a way down to clearly see now that within this throne room, and among these scattered skeletons and long left people, was a king that sat upon his throne, with a crown resting upon his head. After a bit of time with identifying spells and detecting magics, they found that this strange magic crown was one known as a crown of viewing, a crown of memory. Though what memory or what viewing was unknown to the group until Nyla unsuspectingly put it on. The group then found themselves within the same throne room, though lively and beautiful, and as if a party was going on. Dwindle, unknowing of his previous life at that moment, found himself nobility as well. The others knew exactly what was going on. This was not them. This was not their home. This was not their place. And it quickly came apparent as the group found themselves trying to hurriedly find a way to escape what was soon to come. Banging on the grand entrance to this throne room could be heard before the great doors were forced open by what seemed to be an army of some kind. This army then made quick work of the nobility that found themselves partying here, enjoying this ball. The soldiers that tried to protect the nobility and king, as well as the queen, also fell. The enemy had some that fell as well, but not as many as those that were enjoying the ball. Each of the party members experiencing their own version of death within this room, as felt through those that were actually here. The somber experience painful and tiring. The group then found themselves searching this castle for more information. After helping to clear out an area for the campsite, as well as setting up the campsite after a little bit of exploring, just to find out more. The party now finds themselves moving deeper into the castle after a rest. However, they soon return. For now, camp is up and nightfall, as far as they know at least, has come. They take their night's rest. And in the morning, they awaken to a strange happenstance as a figure has made its way into this throne room. The group forced into strange bubbles of force, magical in make. They are then forcibly moved into a specific spot, both groups. Darnock, the dwarf, Lork, the lizard folk, A, the strange knight, Sarah, the Genasi, seemingly Genasi cleric, and Care, the elven ranger, are separated from Dwindle, Maylene, Nyla, Odile, and Rovan, before a lever is then pulled by this strange figure, and they are thrust down deeper into this castle with little to no knowledge of where they are, where they're going, and due to the slide of stone, where they've been. However, they then land within a dungeon with quite a bit of rusted space within the iron fencing that was supposed to keep cellmates and cell keepers in. The group is able to escape this rusted, decrepit cell, and they find their way out, passing and investigating strange automaton guards that were seemingly keeping the doors. The doors rotted and decrepit and rusted as well. However, they find themselves now
Oh, we can't hear you.
Hey! A little fun thing. We're going to be doing question and answer for a bit to see if anybody's got any questions while we're working this out here. So if anybody's got any questions, you can ask the characters, the players, us, the DM. No?
Yep.
And we're good again.
It doesn't take me long now that I know how to fix the issue. But, nonetheless, the group now finds themselves within a massive library, and with the lights now on, they can actually see what's going on, as the space is basically abandoned, somewhat destroyed, and there seem to be a few tomes of magical knowledge at the very least within the space, as Nyla walks about with Detect Magic going, collecting these magical books as she goes, handing them to Dwindle. With May distracted and doing her own thing as well, and Dwindle helping Nyla, Odile is the one to find themselves wandering off, only to find a figure watching them. The figure runs, and Odile makes chase. Chasing this figure, Odile watches as they slam through a set of double doors into a hallway, closing them behind them. And Odile attempting to see if they're in the hallway still, opens the doors to find a voice. You cannot stop me. I won't let you. This simple phrase, then followed by the room filling with shadow. This deep darkness starting to fill the room much like water. Two bright white eyes looking over the entire group. Pitch black darkness. Not even able to see one's hand before their own face. It doesn't last, however, as the shadow then reaches Nyla's pocket. The same pocket that Nyla had kept this strange ring that Skia had turned into. It then absorbs a solid portion of this shadowy ichor that's filling the room. With a loud hiss, the shadow then retreats into the hall. However, Nyla is also absorbed into this ring. And now, the group has quite a bit on the plate to deal with. So, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. You can ask the players, or you can ask me. I'm not going to give spoilers or anything. If the players wish to, you can ask each other questions about characters or ideas that you may have, theories that you want to bounce off of each other. If you wish, you can also ask me questions, or you can keep them to yourselves and find out surprisingly. However, as I said, I won't give any real information away, and the story will go on either way. So, how's everybody feeling so far? From episode 1 to 33 so far.
A little overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, holy cow, we've made it this far. Like, looking back on how much we have done, it's insane.
I'm going to be absolutely useless for this fight. I failed. He did his little startup ability, and I failed 6 times, 5 times still. Point matters. That's 6 rounds of combat where I failed.
You know, when you don't fail, though, you're probably the greatest asset on our party. Tank-wise, you're pretty
Tank-wise,
freaking-
yes, I am the health. I am health. Same time, I am not health when he overcomes my resistances.
Yeah. Still. You've helped us take down a lot of things.
I've decided to take the tough feat next.
Which feat? The tough? What'd that one do? What does that one do?
Isn't it just +2 health? I believe, for every level.
It's +2 health every level,
That's pretty cool.
if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's it. I don't think there's anything else. It's either tough or there's 2 of them that are just really similar.
Oh, okay.
Your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level when you gain this feat. Whenever you gain a level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 hit points.
Okay.
So when he gets it at level 8, he would get 16 health points on top of his normal fixed HP, plus 2 for every level after that.
So it is level 8 that we get it,
So
right?
the earlier you get it, the better. I've
You
always
should
thought
be
to take a
getting
later
ASIs at levels 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19. Unless you're a fighter. Fighters get it at,
just me.
what, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12?
Yeah, they get a ridiculous amount of ability scores.
Yep.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait. I'm debating on what I want so far. Not quite decided, but it'll be interesting. Perhaps improvised weapons. Be a lot
Perhaps
of fun.
magical weapons.
Yes.
If there's any hope of us, like we saw how many we've all seen how many magical item maxes he got, that guy's got. So there's hope.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. So what are we thinking is happening with the Beast Maker?
Beastmaster has a area here.
Do you think the guy that's running is the Beastmaster?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what if they're working side by side? I wonder if the
He's got a
shadow
accomplice.
with the
Oh
white
no.
eyes.
we believe that's him.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same one from the first time we met one like him. I wonder if it's the same one. It'd be definitely interesting. Like, it seems like he's trying to do something, and if he's trying to create the blood gem ring, something big. Also, Will, what is this? You posted it in the everyday chatter in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the GIF of what type of animal is that? Cause he's freaking adorable.
That's an owlbear.
That's an owlbear?
So fighters get
Oh,
8 ability score improvements. 8.
Yep. But yes, that's an owlbear. That's what they normally look like. However, there's no actual scale because the the owlbear is by itself. So there's no like medium creatures around it. That is a large creature. That thing is easily about 800 to 900 pounds. And then
It's a
holy
cow.
cow.
No, cows are allowed to eat actually.
Now I want the owlbear baby. The cub from the...
Yes, you shall root and skin it.
Ah, I want him. No! No, we're going to train him and ride him into battle. It'd be so much fun. I'd have to keep a close eye out for Dwindle though, because I mean, if
The middle
anything
of the
I've
night.
learned, yeah, I should know the way we treated Rovan. I can't wait for
She'll
Odile to
never find
figure
out.
out about that.
She'll never find out. Forever in denial.
Poor Rovan. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
It's her fault for leaving us alone with it.
Right?
Her fault.
Cannot help ourselves.
Nah, not my fault.
Yes, it is. You built something too entertaining and too curious. Made us too curious to look at inside it. It's your fault.
Just fair.
What is inside you?
Immediately.
I'm just curious how Will does how he comes up with all of this because it's amazing. It's so fun to play. Like everything from the giant, what was it? the Sphinx and
The
the
Vanda
Seer
Sphinx.
and the tunnels with the. Oh my gosh. Really quite interesting.
Yeah,
Cannot
I'm
wait for
still running that high somewhat of like, oh no. It actually, where I was like, oh, it's the what if it's the Beast Master? I'm like, oh. Still riding that high. I'm like, oh crap, how did I not think of that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I put 2 and 2 together so quickly. It usually takes me a little bit longer.
Unknown man. It must be the Beast Maker.
Well, I kind of also just figured because of the fact he said you can't stop me. So I'm like, wait, the only person we're really trying to stop is him. Like, what's he look like? It's not
And
record.
it's
Yeah.
our fun thing too is like, he knows us, which means we're doing something neat, which means he has a rat somewhere inside the town.
There is a rat somewhere inside the town. Maybe quite literally. You know, Toll. Maybe someone he knows. I don't think it would be necessarily Toll, but Toll would definitely know who. We just don't have enough money to ever find that out.
Yet. I'm sure this
Black market
Beastmaster
information.
has, black market, great place to rob and die.
Speaking of black market, I wonder how much Odiel knows.
I was thinking that that statement was going to go in a complete opposite direction. I thought you were going to say how much we could sell Old Dial for. I'm like, oh.
Tell
Like,
all what for? Wait.
that's what my mind was going. I'm like, no.
no.
I'm like, oh my.
Hey, okay.
I mean,
James?
it's a fairy.
Yeah, think about it. We just bind her up. Imagine how much we get for her, but like including Rovan?
Actually, that's our way in. That's our way in. That's our way into the black market. We're selling this fairy. Great idea. Haha.
Right.
Oh, I do need to try.
And we can simply follow. We can track Odile.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Oh
No,
my
that's not a
goodness.
good idea.
We should
And
sell
Will knows
Odiel to get.
why.
Well, we don't know that's not a good idea.
It's a fairy. They want to chop off the wings, or they just use you as magic forever.
Odiel would never let us do this. This would have to be like
Just hey, what's that over there? Bonk.
grabs the skillet after while making breakfast. Bonk.
You think us later. Shut up, dog.
Shut up,
Thing.
dog. Gee.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I'll intimidate
that,
Roman.
that just went in a completely different direction than I was expecting.
Oh, Nyla would love that. I mean,
I vote
Huh.
against this idea.
but what
Though
would
I
we
don't
do
think I
once-
have a say.
Okay, but what would we do once we get in? You know, like
Let's scope around.
I don't know. You guys can figure that out. Odd and
Scope
Roman are
around.
staying outside of that black market, that's for sure.
not if you're unconscious.
You're our ticket in there.
Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yes. Oh
Nope.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And who's gonna stop us?
The aftermath. It's what's gonna stop you.
The aftermath. What do you mean?
Yeah.
only
Us
thing we have to
running
worry
away,
about is-
probably.
Yeah.
Getting chased by every single thing with stolen purchases. I am returning the oldies to the rightful people.
And they'll give us money because they're like, wow, you did this? That's awesome. Here, take some money.
No money necessary. It's all yours.
I'll take the money. You might not want it, but I'll take it. I'm watching this GIF on loop, and it just gets better every time.
What? Because I
Oh,
think we went really the far other end of it.
far other end of what? Wait,
Alignment means nothing.
alignment means nothing.
See that?
Until you die.
What is the alignment where you basically like follow your own laws, like your own
Chaotic.
chaotic?
Or
And
it's neutral, I guess.
like I don't care what I do as long as it's within my morals.
Neutral
Chaotic.
evil?
Chaotic. Neutral.
Okay, that is what May is. She is a chaotic neutral. I want her to be a lawful evil, but another time I'll have to figure out how to play that exactly.
Dwindle's good. That's not gonna end well. Chop. I can't wait to continue making building projects. I'm currently designing something for lands to look at. Our wonderful video to look at when we have. Might take some free time after this. It's like, oh no, we're staying in town for about 2 weeks. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can go do something. I'm gonna be busy. Kick the goblin out of his own smith area. Just boot. Fine now. Out.
Jeez. I wonder how his beard's going. I wonder if he'll have a full chin of hair when we get back. Perhaps. Truly, what is this? AR emoji editor.
Great. I have some more kindling to throw into the fire then.
So how much is like a day's worth of fairy dust? Like I'm just saying, like how much would
Passive
that
income.
Hold on. We actually did the math for fairy dust and everything. Hold on, give me a few minutes. But you're not selling me.
That's not what I meant by that. I meant
Oh great, pixie dust
like,
a drug. Let's got it. Let's go.
is it a drug? Wait.
Okay, my fairy dust is not a drug.
Pixie dust is a drug.
Pixie
I'm
dust
sure
is.
if I
Fairy
wanted to
dust
find
isn't.
some, I could go hang out with Toll.
Okay.
It's fey magic powder. It's the same thing.
Say though.
In the eyes of Dwindle. There's a difference.
Hello,
Both
William.
lie.
Hey, Wallop. How are we doing today?
Hello, Wallop. We just got done with our recap, and now we are doing Q&As for the players and or DM. If you has questions, feel free to ask. You can ask the player directly, or you can ask me. However, I'm not going to give spoilers, so keep that in mind.
I'll be fine.
Interesting.
Well, with that being in mind, what's happening next? Next, Will? Like, exactly. Like, details. Details.
I need details.
Bless you.
I need... Bless you, yes.
So,
Like, where's Nyla? Like, please explain to us. I'm joking. Do we have any
no, Nyla's
theories?
currently in the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we've all come to
Because-
the conclusion that May would pick it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
none of us were gonna step, but like we don't know her as much, and it's more of a It's a strange situation.
What do we think?
Drondo was there for the coin and... great. I can answer that perfectly. Hone your own craft further into perfection.
Hone your own craft to perfection. What?
Yes, what's the meaning of life? And I answer
Oh.
for Dwindle.
Yes. You know what? Makes sense. Makes sense.
I wasn't expecting to answer that. Were you?
No, I was not.
Hmm.
I'll be fine.
Hmm.
DC 16. Why does that have to be such a hard DC?
DC 17?
No, it's a DC 16.
16.
That's the Beastmaster's spell DC, or whatever. 16. Which is pretty high!
Still
I
possible.
don't like... It's possible, but I gotta get a... It's wisdom, if I remember correctly.
It was a wisdom save, yeah.
I need to get
We've had
a...
both cases.
I need to get a 15. At least a 15.
It's like as a DM, I kind of know how to deal with certain things.
I'm just a barbarian with the weakest subclass. You're fine.
Do you make up a lot of like the stuff on the spot, or do you like kind of like predict? Like the
Predicting takes effort. I don't do that.
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
try.
it is just like.
I will admit.
Because I was wondering.
I will admit I do have certain things that I do actually set up beforehand. A lot of it I pull out of my ass, however.
Respectfully, of course. Okay, because I was wondering how in the hell did you deal with the whole puddle situation? Because I don't think you could have predicted that one.
No.
Jeez. Yeah, no, like your descriptions are pretty on key. It's really helpful.
I try.
I feel like making it up a lot makes it a lot more fun as well.
It just depends.
If to answer your question on how much the fairy dust would be, it'd be about 300 gold pieces for a day.
300 for how much?
For a day, because I can make a pound in a day.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I had to do
James, it seems like we do need to put her to work.
No, you don't.
Yes. Yes, passive income, great.
It is. It's great income.
No.
Or just buying oysters and popping all the pearls out of them.
Don't worry, Wallop. No need to have context. It's really just each of the characters themselves have wonderful little stories and ideas to them, and the players play them very well. All of our games or all of the episodes are on YouTube. We keep that up. Well, thought Twitch would save the VODs, so all of the episodes from episode 16 and up are on YouTube, as well as an original recap for that. And then on top of that, we did the recap today. So, if you have any episodes or any questions or anything like that, just in general that you'd like answered, like how they feel about their characters, or if you have any specific to wanting to learn more about the campaign at all, then feel free to ask. If you don't want to, feel free to just hang out and chit chat. You don't have to ask questions. We're just kind of here, hanging out for a little bit.
Alright. So I pulled up a question sheet of who's more likely to do what, because I find those absolutely fun. Would you
They
be
can be.
interested? Odile? Or Tiny? James? Would you be interested?
That's not myself.
Huh? So first question up is, who's the most likely to accidentally find a portal to another dimension?
May.
Maybe.
I feel like it would be Nyla.
No.
Just completely
May.
unintentionally.
It'd be May followed by Dwindle.
Followed by Dwindle.
Yeah, Dwindle will be like,
funny.
what's this?
Completely
What-
unintentionally
Ugh.
is definitely May.
Intentionally? Okay.
No, intentionally would be Nyla.
For YouTube, it's
Yeah.
Will-O-Wisp,
Unintentionally is definitely May.
Is that it? It's the same as your Twitch, right?
It should be under my socials, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken.
That would have saved me so much time.
Ah, I'm stupid. It's not social.
I thought you I'm thinking, did you spell that wrong?
Who is most likely to actually be a spy?
No idea what you're talking about.
I feel like Tiny, like Odile.
Yeah, actually, I have to agree with you on that one.
All right.
May's too chaotic to be a spy.
She couldn't keep it to herself that she was
No.
spying.
No,
It's just-
and Nyla and Dwindle like have their honor right on their sleeves. So,
Mhm.
so
That
yeah, I'd
makes the
probably
best
be.
spy.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, maybe odd.
I suppose I
Yeah.
should add that at some point.
Okay, so who is the most likely to be late for something because they stopped to pet a dog?
May. Actually, anybody in the group.
I feel
Odile.
like most of the people in our group.
Oh, yes.
Odile? Yes.
Dwindle actually
Yeah.
kicks dog. Oops, I'm sorry, boy. Oh no, I killed it.
I feel like Odd just wants to turn into a druid eventually.
Is that possible? To just
Yes.
Yeah.
Multi-classing is possible.
oh,
However, with
I forgot about that.
The Druid oaf. The Druid oaf. She can't do it. She can't touch metal anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I don't think I can anyway because of how bad my charisma is.
It's
No,
wisdom.
it's wisdom. And druid is a very interesting class because druids get their magic directly from nature, and unless you're chosen by nature, you're not able to be a druid unless you can somehow make it make sense. But
Yeah,
I
no,
keep a tree on me at all times.
I cannot.
you know, I got that motherfucking dang on me. Really? What? It's a tree.
It's a toy.
No, you don't. Pulls out a bonsai tree. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Okay, I guess fireball.
No, my tree.
Oh no. I just trimmed it. Alright, who's most likely to finish a pint of ice cream in one sitting?
Dwindle.
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 Dwindle. What is this thing? Nah.
Oh, that's funny.
Definitely
The
Dwindle.
amount of stuff. The type of person who, when defeating a monster, rids it of its meat.
Dwindle.
Alright. Who's most likely to lock themselves out of their own home?
Dwindle.
Dwindle. Yeah. This one's also Dwindle, I feel like, but who is most likely to snore in their sleep?
Dwindle.
Dwindle.
Here it does that.
Feel like Odile.
Odile would make sense. It just got that feeling.
Yeah, you know what? I would have to agree because she's typically always sleeping on the ground and she probably has sleep apnea. So yeah, she's probably snoring. But you know what? So is Rovan. Though he doesn't sleep.
Wait, how would Rovan snore if he... Does he sleep?
No.
No?
He pretends sleeps.
So Rovan doesn't have to eat or
He's a
anything like that?
construct, so no.
He's a construct. Okay. Nice.
I just have to give him maintenance.
Alrighty. Who is most likely to miss their flight because they packed last minute?
May.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Who is most likely to get blocked by a celebrity on social media?
Dwindle.
Dwindle, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go drinking something. Because he'd be like, what's social media?
Dwindle
I
wouldn't
don't
have a social
understand
media
this.
and they would somehow find a way to block him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Funny story. I have this Twitch streamer that's blocked
What was the
me.
question again? I missed it.
Who would be most likely to be blocked by a celebrity on social media? And I said Dwindle
Blocked?
seems. Yeah, I feel like Dwindle would somehow not have a social media and the person would still find a way to block him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I blocked you on social media. What's social media?
Social media?
You know how important I am. Who are you? Are you king? No. Then why do you matter?
Alright. Who is most likely to be mistaken for a celebrity? I'd say
Dwindle.
Dwindle again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwindle.
I feel like
I
Odile,
mean,
because she's got a little,
Odile too. She's
got
a little...
carriage on legs.
yeah, you know what?
Absolutely.
That's fair enough.
Odile gives me a lot of like Shrek vibes, you know, like when Shrek is like in the first Shrek when they, or was it? Is it no, it's Shrek 2 when they go to Far Far Away, and you know you know the, and everybody just stops and stares.
I could totally see Odd being Shrek, honestly.
Yeah.
Give her an onion carriage, she'll do
Yeah.
it. She'll do it.
Rovan's your onion carriage.
Yep.
Alright, who is most likely to clap when the plane lands?
Great job. You successfully did not kill us. Now let me off this plastic thing.
Maybe Nyla, because she would be polite, because she would see everybody else doing it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Absolutely.
Wallop says the social media thing for Dwindle. I just said that's called a restraining order.
Wow, I mean, you're not wrong.
What did you do? I don't know. I walked into my shop and I punched him. So my fault is he has a face that's so punchable.
Alright. Who is most likely to appear on the kiss cam at a sporting event? I also feel like that would be Dwindle. I'd say May, but May is like a more of like a look, not touch type person.
I feel like Dwindle would
Dwindle will be there, but he wouldn't do it.
Dwindle would be one of those people that they put on the kiss cam because they're doing something interesting rather than actually with somebody.
Yep.
Okay, how would each character react on the kiss cam though? Like, Dwindle would be just doing something really weird, and they'd be like, "Yeah, look at that."
If he's at a sport event, he's just watching, so you'd be like, watching a game. He wouldn't even notice it. Just
Oh, he's one of those
somebody-
people.
and until somebody just taps him, the punk looks up, he's like,
Oh, you think Dwindle would be one of those people where they put the timer on to see how long that the person notices the camera's on?
I'm just watching. The entire time goes by.
Sport ball. Very nice, very nice.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this sport ball.
This
Nyla,
is more of an
I
event.
think.
It's called Wretched. It's called Rock Ball.
I feel like Nyla would, she'd notice it, and you'd just be like, haha, please don't. Interestingly enough. Something along those lines.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Who is most likely to appear in a viral TikTok video?
Dwindle.
Dwindle throwing somebody out of his shop.
The goblin out of his own shop, specifically.
My own Ford! Not anymore.
Ooh, this is an interesting question. Who is most likely to live a double life?
Dwindle.
Dwindle?
I just start looking away. I'm like, crap. I'm already running away from the family and the kid. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Technically
my
speaking, if we think about it, he could just be playing stupid.
Ooh, that's true.
Who knows?
Interesting.
I mean, the way he could figure out how to work the traumatrons.
I'm totally not a Western spy.
Mm.
Hey, that was the second question, man. Who is most likely to be a spy? I don't think Dwindle would be, though. It just doesn't seem in his character. Like, he just seems very...
Nyla, out of boredom.
Nyla out of boredom. Oh, that'd be interesting, for sure. I feel like Nyla also is just a very, like, to-the-point person.
Totally not like the Western country. Sent offered to Flame Broth, and Flame Broth is now getting aid and information to send back to the West before a massive war.
Oh.
It's not like it's not like the nearest kingdom, the two closest kingdoms, Flame Broth and not Fear.
Those are the main ones that everybody knows of. That's why they're on the maps.
Friend.
Freyant.
It's not like Ferent's a Drow city, and Drow queen.
Freyant.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these questions are just Dwindle. Like, who's most likely to become a reality TV star? I feel like Dwindle would. Who's most likely to get a tattoo of its mom's name? Dwindle. funny enough. Who's most likely to take all their secrets to the grave? Dwindle.
Odd.
Oh, Odd? Really?
100%.
Honestly, yeah, I can see that. I'm not gonna lie. She's just hasn't come out of her shell yet, like Rovan.
I hope it doesn't come out of the shell. That would be a lot of work to fix.
Or shall come out of him. Wouldn't that be it? You know, like, that's a weird saying. Anyways, that is all.
Well,
Hmm.
Most likely to make an invention that can go wrong.
Oh dear. I feel
No,
like her and
I meant
Dwindle.
more. I am thinking no. It's more of it's made for good intentions, but is used entirely for bad. For example, they make guns to defend themselves, or
Dwindle.
Dwindle.
Because Odd already knows how to make weapons and stuff, so she knows how to try to keep things away from, you know. I mean, look at the dog whistle.
make something.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
that
well,
bad.
I've made this thing that goes boom. You're welcome. What is it used for? Blow up or for mining. Glass, and that's how gunpowder was made. How'd you make it? I hit my head to the rock really, really hard.
Ooh. How does your characters want to retire?
Retire. Just getting started.
I don't think Odd's planning retirement.
Oh, Kim?
Oh no.
I'm trying to think of a hard one.
Oh.
Oh, I got a good one.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait for Kev to come back. This is one I think is a really fun one. For a dilemma. But, you know, I'll just say the question. Who is most likely to close the door on somebody to save the rest?
Wait, are you saying that they would close the door on themselves to save everybody else? Like they'd be the one on the other side? Or that they would close the door on someone else while
Close
they're
the
on
door
the...
on somebody else. Somebody's still coming, and they close the door on them.
Oh, like a sinking ship scenario.
It's a toughie.
It is. I don't see Nyla doing it at all. I don't see Dwindle. Maybe Dwindle? Maybe? I don't feel like Dwindle would, but there might be that small possibility. You know what? Yeah, actually, Odd would do it. What am I talking about? She would do it in 2 seconds.
You say that, but you know that if it came down to it, she wouldn't.
But wouldn't she?
No, you've proven a few times that she's a lot more worried about everybody else than you make her out to be when we're not role-playing.
True.
I think it'd be Dwindle, honestly.
I think it would depend. From a DM's perspective, I think it would depend greatly on the context and what's going on, as well as the interactions that had previously happened.
That's a fair point.
Because, say, Dwindle and... Say Dwindle and Odile had a falling out. Dwindle might close the door on Odile, and Odile might close the door on Dwindle, but I doubt that they would close it on anybody else.
Like a random stranger type thing.
Well, a random stranger, I feel more likely would be closed on by any of you, depending on who it is, or what they're doing, or what they're saying, or what's happening. However, I also feel like each of you would have that situation where you would tell the person holding the door to close it.
Yep.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
There we go. Sorry, my brother was plugging in his Xbox and unplugged the internet. Second. Excuse me. We. Is stream down too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have it on the We Will Be Back with Wispy
Oh, okay.
thing.
Okay. Makes sense.
I shall repeat the question.
Okay.
Who do you think will close the door on someone to save the rest?
To
For
what?
example, you have to close the door, or everybody else would die, and there's still somebody running. You have to close the door.
Who do you think would? I think Dwindle would. Or Odile. I feel like all of us like have a really good like reason to. I think May especially would. Because if it saves the majority, she'd choose the majority. Maybe Dwindle wouldn't, though. I feel like he's just a very heroic type person. So if there's like the slightest chance of saving him, I feel like Dwindle would try to save him.
Yeah, I think I think about it. Lance was right. It depends on the situation. If it's Flamin' Broth, I'm sorry, he's closing that door immediately. the entire party could be on that side.
Yeah.
That door being closed and dropped.
Right. Yeah.
By
even
dropped,
if she was on the
I
other
mean,
side of the door.
By dropped, I mean that's what they do for defenses. You can't get to the area if you just completely fill the entire tunnel. So what they do is
It's true.
they capsize. They rig it to, if they have to, for a defendable, they'll literally capsize an entire tunnel.
That's pretty freaking
miles of just setup, just.
Yeah, May as a character, even if she was on the other side, she would, if it saved the majority, she'd close it herself. As self-centered as she can be, like it's quite important to her the lives of other people. Funny enough, I know like she likes kidnapping people, but you gotta get stuff done how you get stuff done, you know? Efficiency. Everything okay?
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Are you going to be turning your camera back on?
Oh, I could do that, yes. There you are. Sorry.
You're fine. I was just making sure so I knew if I was going to have to move things around really quick or not. Wonderful. And back. Awesome. But yeah. Like I said when you were gone, I feel as though that would be very situational.
Absolutely.
All of you would probably cry after trying to make the decision, except maybe James, but that's just because James is James.
That's a fairly good point. He'd feel like he's more sure in his decisions, like...
Oh, no, definitely not. But if he's put into a situation, roleplay-wise, where he has to do that, real James would do his usual. Where he's like, well, that fucking sucked.
Oh.
And you could just read it on his face.
I hope we never have to go in one of those situations, because that would be hard. That'd be so hard.
Do it.
Don't do it! What are you talking about? Oh, that would be really dramatic. As much as I hope none of us die, I feel like it'll be a really, really good, like, session. Like, really dramatic. All of that. And I kind of can't wait. But also, like, I don't want any of us to die, so...
Death! If I die in combat, I am happy. He died doing what he went out the way he wanted to.
Absolutely.
Sideways.
That's a fair point. So, question for you, Will. when you have us explore like dungeons and like
I
just
have no map
everything,
in mind.
you have no map.
I figured as much. Because we're just like, we tried keeping track of it once.
Yeah.
I gave up like 10 turns in because I'm like,
Well,
this makes no sense whatsoever. This should be connecting here,
Yeah,
and this should connect
because I'm
here, but you
trying
said
to
it
like
doesn't.
track it, but it's just not working.
unless I have combat planned or something like that, I never have anything planned description like map wise for buildings and stuff.
Okay.
Like ever.
Not surprised.
It makes it a
Surprising,
whole
but-
lot easier for me to pull shit out of my ass when it comes to like hidden gems and stuff like that, like little hidden pathways or hidden switches and stuff like that. It quite literally is just me going, seems like a good place to put it, why not? In my head mentally, and it just
I mean, it works out. Like it, good timing, you know. Very interesting.
yeah, no, I don't have any of that planned.
Okay.
Like ever.
Well, I have one more question, and that's for James. What's in the tiny book?
Huh?
Yeah, what's in the tiny book?
This is my notebook.
Oh, that's your notebook? Okay.
For notes, it's for.
How do you take notes? Like, do you just like main points? You just like.
Main points, points of interest, and then the majority of it is just pages of information of what I actually have bought in the game.
I
NPC
see.
names. I go through town to town with important things, and then I have the Toronto Kids page, which is slowly being added onto it. Because I gotta keep track of the kids.
Absolutely.
I like throwing.
So what's
Among
all of their
other
names?
things.
Or is that a spoiler? I don't think that's a spoiler.
Throwing Barrowart. Still fast. Sasha. Tim. I'm looking for. Sasha is the one who drinks.
Yeah, I have that written down in my notebook. As like a quote.
Tim. Billrund. And Lily is the newest one.
Is the newest one.
She's young.
Oh wow.
Which. Fun seems fun. The lady says it's his.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. Do you keep notes, Odile?
Mhm.
Or Tiny?
Yep.
Okay.
I
wow.
have so many notes.
Feel around.
I like note
7 kids.
everything. 7 kids.
Rowan is almost about to age out of the dwindle scare.
Oh, okay. I have a quote from exactly how you said it. Wow, you seem like a really great parent. Not really. Sasha has a bit of a drinking problem. She's only 12. It's very funny for me. It's quite funny looking back. I've got small doodles of interesting things, like potato sack time, for interest in instance, and I've got pictures of Gaio
Mm.
and Lork holding a tongue in his mouth. And A just sitting there looking like a sweetie pie. think my favorite quote thus far has been, "Your story is already written. It's up to you to change the chapters." That gave me chills.
Who said that?
The
Was that
seer
me? It sounds like something
who
I
did
would
the
say.
cards.
Your chapters are already written. It's
Yeah,
your
there it
job.
is.
No, it's your story is already written. It's your job to change the chapters.
That gave me chills. Jeez.
Good.
Oh, I haven't done that one yet. Any other questions from chat? Are there anybody in here?
There are a few people in here, but it doesn't seem like anybody that's wanting to ask any questions so far. So,
Understandable.
how about this? I want to know what you all think so far, genuinely. What are your genuine thoughts on the story so far? We are 33 episodes deep. I have only gotten y'all to level 6 now. 7, 6, 6, 6.
6.
Only gotten y'all to level 6 now. I'm just now kind of getting the BBG kind of set up. What well, BBG, mini BBG,
Mini.
whatever y'all are setting it up for, cuz story's there, but y'all change the chapters. Anywho, but we are 33 episodes deep, and shit's popping off a little bit now. Finally.
I know, I feel like it's finally like starting to take shape. And it's kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. I'm wondering when else we will see the shadowed figure. And then I wonder if next session we're gonna get some more of the beast maker that we think he is. I hope we can capture him and torture him in the most respectful of ways.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm gonna burn him.
Oh, absolutely.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, yes.
By taking off his finger one by one, especially if he touches my amazing stinking Remorhaz hide.
Absolutely. Tooth by tooth. Fingernail by
I don't
fingernail.
know where it is. Where is it?
Each knuckle up.
Todd will just watch you guys try to torture.
Where is
Just
my
shake your head.
hide? I got so many plans for that hide, and I'm like Nyla's in a horrible condition. She's gonna watch this stream later. I'm sorry. My main concern out all of this is the hide. I kid you not.
At least we know your motives.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like, she said he would be rich.
Rich in what, though? That is the question.
Wealthy. What was it,
Wealthy.
Lance? Dang, where is it? I wrote it down.
It's the card. It was the wealth card.
Yeah, it was the wealth card.
You have the possibility of wealth in your future, whether it be material, emotional, physical, something. You have some kind of wealth
all
coming
of
your
them.
way.
Aha. Wealthy and what? So what was the card pack you read from?
Oh, I didn't.
It's the deck of many things.
The deck of many
Yeah,
things.
the deck of many
That's
things
what the
is a
cards are
magical
based off of.
item. It's a magical item that basically has a bunch of cards that you can draw from that do different things. However, I use them as a tarot set every now and then. So instead of doing the actual effect that the magical card has, it's kind of like a twist on fate.
It was like body like shudders. Like it was crazy how well each card fit for each character. It it was insane, truly. So very interesting. I don't know if that's how you like just worded it or what, but it was truly awesome.
I try because I, as a person who uses runes to answer questions for myself that I have for the gods, um, I've learned how to read certain things for certain people, and
Mm-hmm.
it just makes sense in a way. But at the same time, it kind of helps when the card itself lays itself before you and only has one possible answer. You just have to figure out how to word it for that player or character.
Understandable. I'm actually a really big into tarot and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and runes. Speaking of, I have a pack right next to me. Funny enough, that's interesting that you use them. Um, so I agree. It's that intuition of using like it just like kind of pops into your head almost. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's interesting. I actually just bought a pendulum. It's pretty cool.
it's very fun.
Mm-hmm. Where is it, by the way? Shit.
But so you all have met a bunch of new NPCs. Here's a good question: who's your favorite?
Ooh. Ooh, that's a good question.
That's an unsafe question.
And for those watching, comment down below your favorite NPC so far in the story. I'd love to know who to kill off next.
No.
That's what I said.
That's why I said nothing.
No,
No.
I don't plan on
You know
killing
what I'll
off
say?
randomly.
A safe answer? A safe answer is the gnome merchant from the first couple of episodes.
I don't want safe answers. I want your honest answer. I don't plan on
Honest
just
answers.
randomly
Oh.
killing stuff off, but there's always the possibility in my worlds just because of things that may happen down the road and things that may happen just in general. But I do want to know who your favorite NPCs are so far, genuinely. Just because of the fact that when I put in the effort to make these NPCs, even the little side ones, it takes me a moment to kind of put them together in my head, but after I've got them put together, they are now NPCs in my world. So,
Mm-hmm.
General Tuscanil,
oh, the elf?
the one he drank with.
Mm, the general that was puking as. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, the elf.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, I can safely say I'm not your biggest fan, in all honesty.
I plan on changing it entirely. We will be friends. Or frenemies. Drink?
Got it.
No. Go to hell. Drink, 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 drink.
Puts it in his cup while he isn't looking. What'd you do to this?
Drink.
Oh,
Drink.
what'd you?
What did you do to my coffee?
Put some happy juice in there.
Apple juice. Huh. Hmm.
So,
It's a very loaded question though, because there's so many NPCs that I really like and enjoy.
okay. Well,
I think that
how about your top 3?
Top 3. Okay.
Feel like that might help a little bit.
That
Absolutely.
makes it a lot easier.
I think number 1 would be the Tiefling from the Tiefling's Horn. I feel like
Tiefling
he's just
Horn.
a very mysterious character that has a lot more about him than we truly think. And
He's
he's
my
just
operative who I give information to.
he's just a really interesting character, I feel like. Second is Mira.
That's my top.
Yeah, I just
Mira's my favorite.
she is just loaded. Okay, like I don't know. It's just maybe it's just how sadistic she is, or maybe like she's just
Maybe it's how sadistic she is. Maybe it's how masochistic I am. I don't know. There's a happy medium somewhere.
happy medium somewhere. That's for sure. But like, I just feel like she's just so she's funny. She's just
She's a
interesting.
fun character, a character type that I would love to play one day. Like she's amazing and fun.
Absolutely.
And drives Dwindle crazy. And so it's even better.
Absolutely. She just kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's interesting, like scary interesting.
You never got a scary vibe from her.
You never got one? I feel like
Nope.
I was quite shaken in my boots there. Puddles. Puddles, of course.
Yeah.
Drundle was scared and just did not want to be there.
During that whole scene with Mira, I was internally just doing like a little happy dance going, I really like this character.
I'm like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a
As
player, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. As a character, I hope I never run into her.
I would be fine running into her again. She didn't mind Mira that much. Didn't like the interrogation that much, but she really liked Mira. She's like, I can deal with you. I can handle you.
I'm sorry for the giggle. I just know that's not true. Sorry. Her character sheet was made a while ago, and
I hate it so much.
So, was she used in like a previous campaign?
Oh
or...
yes, I use her in
Really?
multiple campaigns. She is
Really?
such a fun little dungeon keeper.
Absolutely. Understandable. So that's why James knew who it was.
Yeah, that's why he hates her.
Understandable. So, like, I had this question a while ago, but like, do you have multiple like campaigns like in this world of Grandiasha?
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool.
And funny enough, this is technically the world of Grandiasha because this is just one continent on the same world as a few other continents I'm putting together.
That's really interesting.
Grandiasha is one continent, which is southwest of Zoros, which is another continent I just finished up. It's technically connected to the Grandiashas, because East and West Grandiasha are technically one large continent of Grandiasha, but they're split due to the fact of just people being people. Now, there are other continents in this world that are also connected to or over the ocean that are in some way, form, or fashion connected to this continent of Grandiasha, that continent of Zoros, and so on. There are multiple NPCs, there are multiple characters. I use other characters from other campaigns as little like background extras, that kind of thing. But I've never looked at a world and gone, well, that campaign's done. Time for a whole brand new one.
Absolutely. Might as well use the same world and build onto it.
Exactly. I enjoy world building with it. You should you can ask James. I've spent a little too much time world building.
Honestly, I totally don't get it. Like, it's very interesting.
What?
I'd like to get into myself.
Do
Oh.
Black Clover's animations and stuff?
No.
Okay, that's weird.
Why?
I don't know why the movie has a Netflix film at the start of it.
It's probably a Netflix original. Or Netflix sponsored it. It's got a movie?
Yeah, it just came out a few days ago.
Oh, neat. I've got to watch that.
I was about to say, it's like 2 hours long.
Oh, shit. Gotta watch that
wow.
at some point.
Yeah, I know, I'm about to watch it myself. I also just watched the last episode of the newest Demon Slayer arc.
Is that why you're wiggling like a worm?
Yes. Also, I didn't realize the manga was done.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the artist had a heart attack.
Oh!
No, I'm talking about like finished done, not...
Oh. Oh, they actually added on to the 172 chapters it already had?
All I know is One Piece isn't getting updated until next week. Because Oda's taking a break.
Well, I'd hope so.
I'm fucking pissed about that. But,
Those people haven't seen their families in like 2 years.
no, that's Mappa.
Well, yeah,
He
Mappa.
needs to stop. They need to stop doing fillers.
Also,
In recap, so
really
they need to
need
stop.
that too, because I'm pretty sure a bunch of new Nappa stuff is coming out.
Oh, it is. Mappa is putting out solo leveling here, or solo leveling.
Not just solo leveling. I'm pretty sure they're also doing the next Punch Man season. They're
Yeah.
doing,
The next Demon Slayer
no, that's
season.
That's UFO table.
Thought Mappa took over.
I don't think it did. I think it's still UFO table. But I know Mappa's doing a fuck ton of shit right now.
Yeah, like they are putting brand new out in the world solo leveling. That I can't wait for that.
I've
That's
never
gonna be
read the
so
manga
good.
at all.
Mappa's doing it, and they have all of the manga done. If Mappa fucks it up somehow, I'd be surprised.
They aren't gonna fuck it up.
They are.
It's Mappa.
I mean, yeah, but the writers might fuck it up. The animators do their job perfectly.
How could they
It's the
fuck up
writers.
something that's already written for them?
I don't know. Ask Full Metal Alchemist.
True.
Oh.
And any anime that was rushed because they didn't they wanted to get all of the manga into like one season of like maybe 13 episodes max.
How long is solo leveling?
Solo leveling was it was 174 of actual chapters, and then they started doing side stories, which were just as good. Oh, Mappa's also doing Chainsaw Man, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just don't know when the next season of that's coming out.
Should be within the next year.
Well, no shit. Why'd you look at me?
Why you ask if you didn't want to answer?
I never asked. I just said I don't know when that's coming out.
Didn't ask.
Bitch ass.
Beach.
Doesn't Mappa do it to AOT as well? Or am I thinking?
I'm pretty sure Mappa did take over AOT, yeah. That's why the animation quality suddenly shot up for the last season.
I've never watched AOT.
I haven't either. I watched the first 2 seasons and then I got bored because the second season is just like The Walking Dead. They're in a barn somewhere. And people swear up and down it's like the best anime ever, but it's just so fucking slow.
I can handle slow anime.
I can't.
I watched One Piece for God's sake.
That's different. It wasn't slow when it was actually playing, it was just the filler that was slow.
One Piece actually doesn't have that much filler, surprisingly.
Yes, it does. Don't lie.
It doesn't.
It does. Yeah, remember? We had to look this up. You want me to look the number up again?
Unless you're counting some of the actual arcs. But I don't count a lot of the actual arcs as...
If it's an actual arc, it's not filler, Clay.
Exactly. However, like actual filler episodes, I don't remember it being that high.
Also, Netflix is about to ruin One Piece, by the way.
Fuck.
95 filler episodes.
Out of 1,000, 65, that's not that bad.
That's still 95 filler episodes.
That's still not that bad.
I mean, no, not in the standards of like Naruto or anything like that, but still.
For having as many episodes as it does, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's only about 9%.
Still better than most anime.
It's still fucking filler.
Actually, no, I say that. A lot of that filler is either...
It's like side stories.
It's very small side stories that last at most, like, 10 no, not even 10 episodes. Like, 5 or 6. And then it's just recaps. Because
Yeah.
they do that a lot.
Like I said, I can't do it.
Even then, that's what this, release
Spit it out!
was. Fucking this release episode that was supposed to release Saturday was a recap. Fucking pissed everyone off. However, we are getting very close to Gear 5.
All I'm saying is Netflix is about to ruin One Piece.
I'm still confused on how.
They're putting out a Netflix original live action.
Oh, everybody's already deduced that that's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
We're not paying attention to it.
Yep.
Have you seen Sanji?
Yeah. Have you seen, what's his face? Fucking meter long nose?
Usopp?
Yeah, Usopp. They don't have an actor to play Usopp. They got an actor to play Usopp, but not only are people upset that Luffy, the Pirate King, or quote-unquote soon-to-be Pirate King, that doesn't look Asian, is being played by a Mexican actor. They're getting uppity about that, firstly. Secondly, Usopp, they aren't even trying with him. They aren't doing no cosmetics or anything. And then on top of that, you know who I'm worried about seeing?
Zoro?
Chopper.
You're completely forgetting about Captain Buggy. Have you seen what how they did to him? Captain Buggy?
As I said, everybody's already
Oh
deduced
yeah,
that
with the
it's gonna
blue
be shit,
hair and
so
oh jeez.
we're not worrying about it.
Yeah. No,
I'm
it's-
just saying, the two characters I'm worried most about are Chopper and the
Frankie?
Frankie.
Oh,
Who are they going to find to play Frankie?
Frankie, that's fucking hilarious.
He's got tiny arms with Popeyes-sized...
Oh, we're
All they
going
need for
I
Nami is
think-
an American woman.
I'm not worried about
I think
I'm not,
I think they're
I'm not
gonna.
worried about the normal
For
characters.
I don't think they have the Sunny, not Sunny. Crap, it's been so long.
Fucking Frankie has no legs. He's walking around in a blue Speedo. He's got a Hawaiian shirt on. He's got Popeyes-sized forearms, but no biceps. And his head is the shape of a rectangle.
That's
Post-time
Cyborg.
skip Frankie?
Huh?
That's him
Have you seen
after
Post-Time Skip Frankie?
getting. I think they're gonna go. I think they're just gonna do the blue sea. I don't think they're gonna do Frankie. I don't think they're gonna do Chopper.
They're probably
not gonna
going to
do
try
Brook.
and CGI Chopper like they did with the Titans in the live-action Attack on Titan.
There's a live-action Attack on Titan.
Yes, there is. Netflix put that one out as well.
That's exactly what's gonna happen to the One Piece one. Nobody's gonna remember it.
Exactly. I mean, they did a live-action Death Note. We see how that went.
There's a live-action Death Note.
No.
Yeah. There's a live-action Death Note movie, and it is absolute garbage.
As I said,
Live action. Why do they keep trying to make them? None of them are good.
Because Netflix is like, this is an anime with a lot of followers. I wonder if I can hop in on that.
The only thing that they're gonna do is piss more people off. And
Exactly, and what's even worse is it's going to bring people to them.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna go, wow, what other shit stuff is on Netflix? And then people are going to see the other good stuff on Netflix and go, wait, that's on here?
Hate viewers are still viewers.
Exactly. Netflix has the mentality of any publicity is good publicity.
But as I said, it's gonna happen to the exact. I'm gonna have the exact same reaction. The only reason I know about One Piece 1 is because I'm actively following it.
I'm just worried.
I'm not. It's gonna fucking.
It's gonna flop.
It's gonna flop, and then everybody's gonna go back to the anime.
So disappointing. Why can't Netflix leave good things alone?
Because it's Netflix. They get paid either way.
They're putting so much effort to make live-action movies that flop, and they can't put in that much effort into Seven Deadly Sins.
I was about to say, look at SDS. I stopped watching after season 4. I'm surprised. What's the latest season? I don't even fucking remember.
I don't know. There are like 4 movies and like 5 seasons.
The movies aren't even that bad.
No, they're bad.
It's the later seasons. I say that. I've never watched the second movie, but
It's bad.
it's bad.
No. Anyway.
However, I never watched the second movie, so I don't know about that one. However, I stopped watching after like the 3rd or 4th season. I'm surprised it even got that far.
Well, with no more questions, the recap done, and a wonderful view into not only my view on anime and live actions, but my little brother's as well. I think we're going to call stream there. And we are going to go about our lives hoping that Netflix doesn't fuck up One Piece.
Want to watch the Black Clover movie?
I think it's already.
Want to watch the Black Hole movie?
Want to watch?
Are we watching the Black Clover movie?
Do you want to? Because I'm about to watch it.
I'm gonna go watch the Black Clover movie with you. Alright.
That was great.
Thank you all for joining. We hope you enjoyed. And remember, follow the Will-O-Wisps. Follow the Fireflies. You never know what stories they may have to tell. I can promise you they're keeping the campfire warm for you. So, you all have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And we hope to see you next time on the journey of Grandiasha. Have a wonderful evening.